Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all well and having a really great day so far. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Emma and I make videos on beauty, my weight loss journey, travel and lifestyle. Today's video is a new makeup release video and it's the first time I've ever filmed one of these. I'll be totally honest, up to now I've been pretty underwhelmed with the makeup that's been released so far this year, but I've seen a few things recently that has inspired me to want to make this video, get your opinions on it as well, and obviously as we head into September we're going to start to see the holiday releases for the makeup collections, which is always my favourite time of year. So if that sounds good to you, grab yourself a drink, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep on watching. First up, we need to talk about the new Natasha Denona I Needs a New palette, and spoiler alert, I've already ordered this, it's on its way and I cannot wait to film a review video as soon as I get that palette in my hands. In my opinion, this is probably one of the most exciting makeup releases to happen all year, and based on the promo pics, it looks like everything that I'd want in an eyeshadow palette. As you can see, I've got very fair skin and I do have a cool undertone, so although I can wear warmer tone shades, I tend to have a preference more towards cooler tones. They're a bit more flattering on me, but actually cool tone shades I think are quite hard to come by. There definitely seems to be more of variety around the sort of warm and neutral shades, so I'm absolutely ecstatic to see this palette and I can't wait to see what it looks like in real life. These shades look absolutely stunning and I'm glad to see that there's a nice variety of different neutrals, from taupes to browns to roses, all of my very favourites. A lot of times when brands release cool toned eyeshadow palettes, they tend to be centred around sort of the grey family. And whilst I love a grey and charcoal smoky eye, I do want some variety as well in my collection and have plenty of choice, and I'm really hoping that this palette's going to give that to me. I recently reviewed the new Mini Starlet palette from Natasha Denona, and in the promo pictures that one also looked very cool toned, but actually when I swatched the palette in real life it did lean a lot more warm than I was expecting, so I'm hoping that that's not going to be the case with the I Need a Nude palette. I'm also very much looking forward to trying out her new wet look formula. Two of the shadows in the palette are in this new formula, and I saw a couple of swatches on Instagram and they look absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I couldn't be more excited to get my hands on this and try it out. Next up is the Huda Beauty Glowish Mini Eyeshadow Palettes, and these are available to purchase now. They're available in 3 different colour stories, so there is Amethyst, Clay and Moss. All of them look very pigmented and there's some really pretty eye looks in the promo pics. Obviously you can wear whatever colour story you like, but it is recommended that Amethyst is going to really complement brown eyes, Clay is going to complement people with blue eyes, and the Moss palette is going to look great if you have green or hazel eyes. I get a very similar vibe from a collection that Charlotte Tilbury released a few years ago, where she did the Copper Charge, Mesmerising Maroon, Super Blue, and I can't remember what the green palette was called, but very similar type of idea. They retail for £18 each, which actually I don't think is a bad price for a quad. Out of the 3, I'm probably most drawn to the Amethyst palette. I love purples and as I said, I am a cool tone girl. But being completely honest, I'm probably going to pass on these. The reason being is that Huda Beauty normally release a larger 18-pan palette, probably around the end of October, start of November, as part of their holiday collection. So last year, I think was the Empowerment palette, which is great. The year before was the Rose Quartz. So I think I'm going to hold out and see whether something like that is on offer this year. Too Faced are coming out with the Maple Syrup palette, and I do really enjoy Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. I reach for them in my collection quite regularly, and I'm actually wearing the Cinnamon Swirl on my eyes today. So I obviously like their formula for their larger palettes. I would be lying though if I said I wasn't disappointed that the Maple Syrup palette doesn't appear to be in tin packaging like this one. They released the Pumpkin Spice Second Slice last year, and that was in a paper packaging format, and I do think it takes away from, you know, the overall quality and effect of the palette. You feel like you're holding something a little bit more sturdy with the tin. So yeah, a bit disappointed about that. Colour story wise, it is a nice colour story that I think is going to translate well, especially in the autumn and winter months. But being totally honest, I cannot see any sort of correlation with how this colour story ties into maple syrup pancakes. You know, there's some different greens in there, there's some pinks, purples, looks to be like a raspberry shade, an amethyst shade, maybe like a dark blue teal. That's how it appears on the promo pics anyway. Obviously we'll be able to see more when the palettes start to come out and we can swatch the shades. But yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to pick this one up. Too Faced do release in the UK much later than they do in the US, so I'm sure by the time I get my hands on this palette, hundreds of reviews will be available on YouTube already. I don't think that I'm going to really be able to add much to you if I buy this. So really, to purchase a Too Faced palette is for my own use, more so than using it on my channel. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to pick this one up. But I would be very interested to see how the shades perform. It does look like a really nice colour story nonetheless. And another eyeshadow palette that's coming out is the Naked Metal Mania palette from Urban Decay, and I have not bought anything from this brand in years. This is probably the first launch in a while that's piqued my interest a little bit. I used to be a massive fan of the Naked palettes back in, I don't know, maybe around 2015, 2016, and I did love mine and use them a lot. But as the years have gone on, more brands have come out with different formulas, and in my opinion, you know, formulas that perform better as well. I don't reach for my Urban Decay palettes anymore, and I could probably declutter a couple. But this colour story is very nice. There looks to be, you know, 5 sort of neutral shades, so you could get, you know, away with wearing them to the office if you work in a more corporate environment, a more natural smoky eye, and then a lot of different coloured shimmers in the middle of the palette as well that you can mix and match with them and maybe create something a little bit more dramatic. I'm sort of interested. I'm on the fence with this one, I think. But as I said, I just hope the formula lives up to expectation. A lot of people did say that the formula of the eyeshadow in the Honey palette was very good and superior to some of their others. So I just hope that that formula is also used in this one. Again, we'll have to wait and see until the palette comes out. Patrick Tarte is also coming out with a new 12 pan eyeshadow palette. There looks to be 2 of the cream eyeshadow bases in there which are in a colour. Maybe you could use those as liners as well. There looks to be a black and a dark brown, and then there is 10 neutral matte eyeshadows in there as well. It does look to me in the promo pics to lean more neutral to warm, so not something that I would be interested in adding into my collection at the moment, but I think that it will be popular with a lot of people. It looks like a good staple palette that you could have in your collection, and it would take you from, you know, your no makeup look all the way through to full-blown glam, smoky eye, everything in between as well. I also think this is a good companion palette to have in your collection. It's those basic eyeshadows that you really need, that you could pair with shimmers, maybe some duochromes, multichromes in other palettes that you may have. So I think a lot of people will enjoy this palette. I've not purchased an eyeshadow palette from Patrick Tar before. I really enjoy the blush palette that I own, but I haven't ventured into eyeshadows so far. But from what a lot of people say on reviews, they do seem to be good formulas and people enjoy using them a lot. So again, I'm not sure at the moment. It's not a definite yes. I'm not 100% ruling it out either. But let me know in the comments what you're thinking of picking up. I feel like this video is very eyeshadow palette heavy, but Tarte are also releasing a new Man-Eater Nightfall eyeshadow palette, and this one looks really nice. The colour story looks very autumnal. I like the fact that there is a good mix between matte and shimmer shades. I don't have many eyeshadow palettes from Tarte, but the one that I do have in my collection is the Tartelette in Bloom, and I must say I really do enjoy this palette a lot. So I am a little bit tempted by this new one. I love the packaging as well. It's in this beautiful sort of purpley aubergine leopard cover, which is right up my street as well. But this palette does look really nice and perhaps a little bit different to a lot of the palettes that we're seeing being released lately. I really like the colour story in this. There's definitely something about it that's drawing me in, and I'm tempted for sure to pick this up. Dose of Colours are also releasing a new eyeshadow palette called the Ethereal palette, and this one does look really interesting. It's a 15 pan eyeshadow palette and there looks to be about 6 neutral matte shades, and the rest of them are these really beautiful looking shimmer shades. As I said about the Urban Decay one, it looks to be a nice balance between, you know, neutral shades that you could you know, achieve very neutral everyday makeup looks for the office or wherever you want to go, but you can also mix and match with these gorgeous shimmers. So very versatile palette by the look of it. Lots of different colours and eye looks you would be able to create with it as well. I haven't tried any eyeshadow palettes from Dose of Colours before. I know that the Friendcation palette with Desi and Katie was extremely popular from them. It was in a lot of people's favourite lists for many years. So I am sort of tempted to pick this up just to try the formula, if nothing else, but the colour story does look very nice. YSL are releasing a new All Hours concealer. I've not tried their All Hours foundation, but I know that it was extremely popular a few years ago and a lot of people loved it. Looking at the shade range, they do have quite a few shades, so there's 6, 12, 18 shades it looks to be on the picture here, but looking at the shades within that range, there doesn't seem to be too many in the darker shade range, and likewise there doesn't seem to be too many in the very fair section either. I'm not sure that I would find something suitable for my skin tone looking at this picture, but there seems to be a lot of shades you know, around the sort of light to medium skin tone. The true test will be when we see it in real life, obviously swatch the shades, but on the face of it, as I say, it doesn't look like the very fair or the darker shades are particularly well represented here. I would like to try the formula. As I said, I've never tried the foundation, and you know, it's always good to find a new concealer. You know, we're all on a mission constantly to find that perfect concealer to put under the eye and brighten our face up a little bit, aren't we? House Labs are also releasing a new concealer, and this is another one that I might be interested in trying. I've never actually tried any products from House Labs before, so if you do have any favourites or recommendations from the brand, please let me know in the comments, because I'd be interested to pick some products up from them. Looking at the shade range, it does seem to be a little bit better than YSL, being totally honest, just, you know, looking at the pictures. There are for sure some darker shades in here, and I can also see some very fair shades as well, so it looks to be quite a good shade range. Lady Gaga looks great in the promo pics, and you know, looking at how it looks on her skin, it looks to be sort of a medium full coverage concealer, which is something that I personally like to have in my makeup collection. And the last new release that I want to talk about is the first holiday makeup pick that I've seen, and that's the Charlotte Tilbury Advent Calendar. Now, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. I've picked up her Advent calendars in previous years and I've really enjoyed using the products. I don't think that I'm going to be picking up the Advent calendar this year, purely because I've got a large Charlotte Tilbury makeup collection and it's going to be pretty much guaranteed that the products that I open are going to be duplicates of things that I already have in my collection. If you're new to the brand though and you're interested in trying a few things from Charlotte Tilbury, it is a nice gift to either, you know, gift to yourself as a treat or maybe have as a gift from somebody else. Because of the price of these products though, and it's not just, you know, in relation to Charlotte Tilbury, it's the beauty advent calendars in general. A lot of these calendars are very expensive, and yes, you might be interested in a few of the products, but are you going to use everything in there? My guess is probably not. And I do often wonder whether our money would be better spent, you know, taking the price of the advent calendar and just going into the counter and choosing products that we really know that we're interested in, things that, you know, might match our skin tone as well, because they're not going to include things that are skin tone specific in calendars, because that obviously wouldn't appeal to the masses. But I am super excited, as I am every year, to see her full holiday collection. She makes such beautiful products and I can't wait for that. I love holiday makeup in general. I always look forward to seeing what the brands are releasing, and I'm sure that those promo pics are going to start to come out over the next few weeks. So guys, those are all the new makeup releases that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you've enjoyed hearing my thoughts on them. All of the pictures that I found and information about the new releases are from Instagram, and I included the Instagram handles on the pictures. I will also put the Instagram handles in the description box as well, just in case, you know, you want to give those accounts a follow as well. But as I said, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day and I will see you on my next one.